So last year on this YouTube channel, I created a 2024 predictions video of what I thought may happen in the Greater Toronto Area real estate market. And since we're just wrapping up 2024, I thought it'd be fun and cool idea to pull up that video, go through it and see what I may have gotten right and maybe what I have gotten wrong. So I'm gonna do that today with you and go over my 8 predictions of 2024. Hey there, I'm Matt Sloan and I'm a realtor here in the Greater Toronto Area. And if I could ask a huge favor, if you could please subscribe to this channel, it would mean a lot as I'm really trying to grow this new YouTube channel. And after watching it, or in the future, if you do have any questions and want to reach out to me, you can click the link in the description below and book a time with me that works best for you. So, as I mentioned, I'm going to pull up this video that I recorded a year ago and just see how right or wrong I was with my 8 predictions that I made for 2024. Starting off with prediction number 1. Starting off, more transactions in 2024. Why the increase? Despite some economic uncertainty, there's a growing sense of consumer confidence. This is encouraging more people to enter the market, whether it's buying their first home, investing in properties, or even downsizing. So I was definitely wrong about how many sales there would be. 90,000, we weren't even close. We were just under 70,000, or should be just under 70,000 sales once the full numbers come out. But a huge gap between what it actually was and what I thought it may be. Transactions did go up slightly, but maybe by 1,000, 2,000 transactions when it all comes to an end, which we'll find out next week when the stats do come out. But the year before was in 2023 was one of the slowest years for transactions volume wise in decades. And I did think there was going to be some pent up demand there. And it just took a little bit of time to get going. So we'll see what happens in this year coming forward. But as of last year, I was wrong about how many sales and how many transactions we were going to have. So going into prediction number 2. Next up, interest rates. The Bank of Canada policies greatly influence mortgage rates. In 2024, I expect the Bank of Canada to make calculated adjustments. My prediction would be there will be 3 rate cuts in 2024. All right, so the interest rate cuts. Well, we finally did see some interest rate cuts, and so I was correct there. But I did think there was only going to be 3 interest rate cuts. I didn't think it was going to be as rapid as it was once the summer of 2024 hit. So once June hit in 2024, we actually ended up seeing 5 interest rate cuts. And what I thought would be the overnight rental rate of 4.25% is actually down to 3.25%. So great news there for people that were on variable rates and really wanted those interest rates to come down. So we were correct with the fact that we were going to see some cuts, but incorrect with how many there actually was. So let's see what prediction number 3 brings. Next up, the 5-year fixed rates. As of now, these rates are hovering around 5%. However, based on the economic indicators and bond market trends, I predict a decrease to about 4 to 4.5% by the end of 2024. All right, so the fixed rates, they did come down, and I think I did have this one pretty spot on. So I did think the fixed rates would come down to about 4.5%. We did see them get as low as 4% this year. Maybe a couple people, if the timing was right, got that 3.99-year fixed rate, but we are seeing the fixed rates back up to just about 4.5%, just under 4.5% right now. So I did nail that one, and I'm not sure how much lower we're going to see it go right now, since we did see that little time where it was 3.99%. But as I predicted earlier this year, that in 2024 it would get down to 4.5%. So I think I'll give myself a check on that one, as like we said, we're sitting at just under 4.5% for a 5-year fixed rate right now for most lenders. Next prediction. Next up, early year inventory challenges. I think there might be a little buyer-seller standoff to start the year, with both buyers and sellers waiting for better market conditions. All right, so the inventory challenges. I was kind of right with this early on in the year. We did see some low inventory at the start of the year into the spring market, but then we had a lot of people, a lot of sellers holding off and waiting for those interest rates to drop, expecting a lot of the buyers to come off the sidelines. So what we saw but we would typically see a busy spring market with lots of inventory starting to hit the market and the real estate market starting to get active. We actually saw it slow down and wait until that June interest rate drop where a lot of sellers started to put their home up on the market. Timing wise, that didn't really work out for them as we saw an influx of inventory hit the market and buyers still staying on the sidelines due to, anticipation of the interest rates dropping more, seasonal plans with the summer around the corner, kids out from school. So just timing wise, it didn't really work out where then we started to see a lot of inventory hit the market. So June, July, August, September of this year, we had a ton of inventory hit the market, even into October, and we've only started seeing it get absorbed, throughout the mid-October, November range. So we still have a ton of inventory on the market right now. So we didn't really have the inventory challenges that I was expecting. We did start off that way, but then, like I said, we did have a ton of inventory hit the market halfway through the year, and we're still seeing that right now, depending on the area that you're at throughout the GTA and the home type that you're specifically looking for. So I'll give myself maybe a half a point on that one where, we did see some challenges, but then, inventory really started to come through halfway throughout the year. Next prediction. Next up, headlines in the media. The real estate market often makes headlines, and these can sometimes be sensationalized. Early 2024 might see dramatic reports, especially if there are significant month-over-month changes in price or sales. All right, so that's prediction, headlines in the media. Again, it wasn't really looking into a crystal ball. Again, this was pretty low-hanging fruit, as the media does like to throw things out there for headlines to, again, get people to watch and read their news and take in their content. But what we did see in the media was we're typically used to seeing, doom and gloom and getting people to kind of watch that way. But halfway throughout the year, we did start to see some positive things in the media where, we started to see some sales, some inventory hit the market, some interest rates cuts. So a little bit more good news in the media headlines than anticipated. But again, we always got to be careful of those media headlines because they can get you sometimes. Next up, rental market adjustments. Why a cool down? After a heated rental market in 2023, I expect things to stabilize a bit in 2024. This could be due to various factors like increased supply, changes in demand, or even shifts in economic conditions. All right, so rental market adjustments. So we did see a little cool down in the rental space throughout the GTA here, maybe halfway through the year. Again, it was so inflated in 2023 that we could only anticipate that it was going to correct a little bit, and we did see that. So I think there just started to be a little bit more inventory on the market. Tenants and buyers, consumers started to be a little bit more aware of the prices and their options, possibly looking into purchasing a condo or a home instead of renting as interest rates started to come down. So we did see a bit of a correction here in the rental space. So I'd say I was correct about that one. Next up, a little fun one, my YouTube channel goals. I'm aiming to hit 500 subscribers by mid-2024 and 1,500 by the end of the year. I plan to bring more insightful content, market updates, and real estate tips to help you navigate the market effectively. All right, so prediction number 7 was the YouTube channel goals. I was way off on this one. This was on me though. This was my first year kind of doing YouTube, and I didn't realize the consistency that needed to be had to really reach these goals that I put in place at the beginning of the year. So we're looking back on that. We're seeing like, okay, this is where we need to work, and this is where we need to get a little bit more consistent. So we'll think about that for 2025. But just looking back on 2024, I was way off on this one. But you know what? We'll see what happens in the year ahead now. And lastly, my question number 8. And lastly, the long-term market outlook. Real estate is a long-term game. While 2024 will have its unique challenges and opportunities, the key is to think ahead and plan for the future. So prediction number 8, the long-term market outlook. This one wasn't so much a prediction of, just more of so what you should be doing when you're looking into getting into real estate. It's not a short-term play. Some people may think it is or want it to be, but ultimately, to be successful within the real estate market and not have to worry about these ebbs and flows and the conditions of the market so much, it's holding on to the real estate as long as you can and really looking at that long-term outlook when getting into the market. So, you know what? I got some things right, I got some things wrong, and that's okay. It was just for fun. Again, these were just predictions that I made a year ago. And if you would like to see me do another one of these prediction videos for 2025, please leave a comment below, and maybe we'll look into making some 2025 predictions. Now, anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll see you more on this YouTube channel next year.